I know we talked about it last season, but
Oh, he's grown more hair than last season. It's doubled.
oh, I know.
He has 50% more hair since he won the championship.
Maybe that's what it was.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is John, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, Season 4, Episode 116. We're back.
We are back.
Take 2.
Take 2, yes. It can't always go smoothly.
No, it always, especially we took 3 months off.
Yep.
And, we're back now, but we've recorded for 20 minutes now without the recorder recording.
Yeah, so,
We're going to try again. Like, we are recording now. I'm positive of it.
All right. Here we go.
It was funny. So, anyway, we've been gone for 3 months. It was a nice break.
It was.
I mean, I didn't realize since I've started podcasting, this is season 4 of the show, and this is my first off season ever.
3 straight seasons.
I mean, me and Jamie would record constantly. If it wasn't this show, we record another show. It's like, so this season we took it off. We had intentions of recording a few off-season episodes, but that, as you know, that didn't happen.
Just never worked out.
Well, we stopped recording in November.
Yeah.
Then we got bronchitis and pneumonia started spreading through our house.
Yep, through all of December.
Yeah, Alexa and Haley, it was their fault. We'll blame them.
Yep.
They started it. Then you and your mama got it. And then we went like 3 weeks. I thought I was in the clear.
I thought you were too. I was kind of mad.
I was bragging.
He was being all cocky, like, I never get sick.
And then I got sick.
Yep. Then it caught up to him.
So we pretty much spent half of November, all of December, the start of the year, sick.
Yeah.
But we still had a great Christmas.
Yeah. Christmas
Probably one of the best Christmases ever, at least in my book. Great New Year's.
Yeah.
What did we do for New Year's? I don't remember. It was good, though.
Yeah. I mean, my girlfriend was over.
That's right. I think it was a football game on, maybe?
No.
I don't remember.
No. Because
we stayed up and watched the Times Square thing, and then we just went to bed.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really a big celebration this year. But I also think we weren't feeling too great that year either.
Yeah, I think we were still
a little
getting off of everything.
Yeah.
I know I didn't get sick till Christmas. Like, the day before Christmas,
yeah, it was like
I started feeling bad. And Christmas Day, I'm like faking it. I'm like, I'm good.
He's great. Yeah,
I'm not going to get sick. I'm good. Nah.
He faked it till he made it. And
fake it till you make it. Motto of my life. It's always worked out.
And, when he went to bed at 7:30, he wasn't making it no more.
No, I didn't. I made it all day, and that was it. We went to New York in the off season.
Yep.
My dream of moving to Western New York has now ended. I've realized that the reason I love Western New York so much is because that's where Grandma and Grandpa live at, and I get to go up there and spend time with them. We went up this year. We waited on the coldest week of the year.
Yep. When
they were calling for the most snow of the year.
Actually,
this is a good time to go.
They weren't calling for any snow.
No, that's true. There was 0 snow on the forecast for our trip up. So our first day we drove to Ohio. We stayed in, I think it was Mansfield or something like that.
And that went pretty smooth.
Yeah, a little over 10 hours on Friday. Great weather. Not a cloud in the sky. Saturday morning we wake up to fairly heavy snow.
Yeah.
And it just continued to get heavier as we followed the lake.
Yep, just the entire drive.
I would say probably till we got to New York. Once we got to New York, it kind of let up and turned to rain. And I was like, oh, yes, rain. I love rain. I can drive in rain.
I've been driving in rain for 40 years.
Now, I don't know if y'all ever noticed on this show or not, but I'm from the South. I know my accent can be deceiving. I've had people get me confused from Brooklyn and places like that, but
The Bronx.
Boston, the Bronx. I mean, my accent, I get it.
Yeah, it happens.
But I've never driven in the snow, like maybe down the driveway in a 4-wheeler.
Right. But literally, when it snows in the South, you don't move.
Yeah, they close.
Everything.
Like
Everything
just where
shuts
you're
down.
at is where you stay.
And when we mean snow, we mean like 3 inches.
Hey, in January we got 5.5 inches here,
Yeah, which is crazy.
and we didn't leave the house.
5.5 inches is insane.
The state shut down.
That is a ton of snow.
Then we get to New York.
Yep.
There's actually not a lot of snow on the ground when
You
we
could
get there.
see the grass.
That was on Saturday.
Yes. Well, Saturday night.
Yeah. Well, Sunday's when it snowed.
Right.
So Sunday, it pretty much snowed on and off all day Sunday. I mean, me and Alexa were looking to go to the Bills-Ravens game that night, but it was something about having to bring cardboard to put your feet on to help insulate your boots while your feet are in them.
Cold.
Yeah, that scared us off.
Yeah.
So I'm looking back at it now, I'm glad we didn't, because we probably had 4 inches of snow on the ground where we were at by the end of the game.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't like driving in it.
So
I wouldn't have made it.
It would have been taking an Uber.
I would have just got a hotel in Buffalo for 4 days.
They would have been on the side of the street waiting for a snowplow to go by. Hello.
Well, the snowplows won't let you get in front of them.
That's
or
true.
behind them. Like me and John went ice fishing, so it's snowing. It's coming down. I don't have no idea where the road's at. Right. I got mailboxes on the right, mailboxes on the left.
Keep it in the middle.
I'm just hoping we're not in a ditch.
Questioning our decisions.
And up ahead, I see the snowplow, and I'm like, yes. So I slow down, and he just waits. I'm creeping by at like 5 miles an hour, just looking at him going, why?
Why? And sure enough, once we passed him,
then we're holding him up. He's flipping us the bird. Like, y'all need to go. I'm like, hey, man, you had your shot.
Right. I mean,
I'm doing the best I can. You live up here.
Read our tag. You'll know.
I know we were laughing because we had a line of cars behind us at one point, and I was laughing. I said, this guy's going to get to work and go, sorry, boss, I'm late. I got stuck behind a guy from Georgia. His boss is going to be like, yeah, right.
Right. Yeah, totally.
That's the worst excuse ever. But no, we had a great trip. I love being up there. I love spending time with Grandma and Grandpa. I mean, it was her 75th birthday. She doesn't look a day over 55, but she convinced us she's turning 75. So we rode up there for her birthday. Yeah, I hate driving in it.
Yeah.
I wanted to move up there and live in the snow, but
not anymore.
I'm looking for property now along the equator, within a 50-mile radius, maybe.
Yeah.
Like it snowed in all 50 states this year. I don't know where I can go and be safe.
Yeah, you're screwed anywhere you go now.
I mean, Pensacola, which is on the Gulf of America, they got 8 inches of snow. Global warming has been fixed. We've solved global warming.
We've done
Way to go, guys.
Oh, man.
It's crazy. Like it's been a cold year. I mean, when we were in New York, it was -5 one morning with a real feel of -22. That's cold.
That is freezing.
Like,
considering we complain about it being cold at about 45.
Yeah. 45 and rainy is cold in Georgia.
Yeah, we were all bundled up in our jackets.
I bought a heated jacket this year. So I have a Buffalo Bills jacket, and it's heated, which came in handy in New York.
Yeah.
Comes in handy when it's 35 degrees here for me, but yeah, in New York I got to shovel snow for the first time in my life. I know any of our listeners who are from the north are probably like, yeah, I hate shoveling snow. I loved it. Like, I had a blast. I'm out there just shoveling away. Grandpa's got the snow blower going. I'm like, I don't even want that thing. I got my shovel. I'm happy.
Well, I mean, so the craziest thing to me is that the snow felt like sand almost. Like,
yeah, it was soft.
It was
fluffy.
It was crazy because, I mean, when it snows down here, it's all ice. And slushy.
Yeah, it's like crushed ice out of a refrigerator dumped on the ground. I don't know. It was fluffy here day one.
Not that fluffy, though.
No, but it was. We didn't have 18 inches in one night either.
Right. I mean,
We had like 28 inches total while we were in New York, which, like I said, that's crazy.
It was insane to go to sleep with grass on the ground, or with seeing the grass on the ground, and then waking up to literally 18 inches of snow.
Knee deep snow.
Yeah, like you step in the snow and you don't even touch the ground.
That's called post holing.
It's called what now?
I heard it on a TV show last night. When you're walking in the snow, and sometimes you're on top, and other times you go straight through. It's called post holing.
Oh, okay.
Again, from Georgia. Would never know what post holing is.
So,
I dig post holes with a post hole digger to put up a fence. Not
now say post hole 5 times fast.
post hole, post hole. I can't do it, man. Stop making fun of my Bronx accent.
Man,
This Jersey accent's thick, man. You got to be careful.
really not letting you speak there.
I'm trying hard to speak and enunciate when I talk so our listeners can hear us. But if y'all would have heard me when I lived in Alabama,
It was bad.
I didn't even attempt it. I didn't care. It didn't matter. People there, their accent was worse than mine.
People down there, they're just looking for their free Wi-Fi.
That Wi-Fi, that boy over at the McDonald's, he was not leaving until he got his free Wi-Fi.
It says it on the sign on the door.
He was right. It does. It said free Wi-Fi on the door.
And he wanted free Wi-Fi with his meal.
Now, I would pronounce it Wi-Fi, being from Georgia. It's a Georgia thing. But in that particular Utah, Alabama, it's spelled Etowah, but it's pronounced Utah. In Utah, Alabama, he wanted his free Wi-Fi. Boy, I hope he got it, because I was laughing so hard I went to Burger King. I could not even stay there.
Oh, what was the one billboard? It was like best teachers or whatever. Or
Oh, it said the best schools in the state, and they misspelled schools. It says schools, and you've misspelled it, and you're the best in the state? Like,
I mean, I guess it's on brand.
hey, welcome to Alabama.
My girlfriend's from Alabama.
Hey, I loved Alabama. I would move back to Alabama. I'm not dogging Alabama. I would rather live in Alabama than the Arctics of New York.
That's a fact.
Like, it's cold there.
No, I pick on her all the time about it. She doesn't like it. Because, well, she's technically from Mississippi, but I still pick on her from being from Mississippi,
So what's
too.
worse?
Right. Obviously, you know, she's really out of lose-lose.
Don't make fun of me. I'm from Mississippi. Like, shh. Don't tell nobody, because now they're going to make fun of you.
It's even worse.
It could be worse. You could be from Arkansas. Arkansas, which is illegal to say in Arkansas, but that's how it's spelled, Arkansas.
I mean,
Hooked on phonics did not work for me.
you know, it don't make sense.
But I've been to Kansas. I've been to Kansas. I've been to Arkansas. It's
Been
a
to
little
them
sketchy.
both.
Well, before we dive into today's show, let's give a shout out to our presenting sponsor, Designs by Sydney. Sydney is a master of graphic design, creating everything by hand with a personal touch. She has you covered if you're looking for unique NASCAR driver stickers celebrating each week's winner. But that's not all. She also offers custom logos, letterheads, t-shirts, and a whole range of custom stickers. Do you need to revamp your business's branding or boost your social media with eye-catching graphics? Then Sydney is your artist. Check out Designs by Sydney today for all your design needs, where creativity meets craftsmanship. And for the month of February, use code CAR0225 at checkout to get free shipping on your order. Now let's get back to the show.
You're 2 for 2.
2 for 2, baby.
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
That's what I'm talking about.
I've been reading this ad read for like 3 days now, trying to make sure I could read it properly on the air. And every time where it says today for all, or Designs by Sydney today for all your design needs. I think it's because it's check out Designs by Sydney, and then a few words later it's design with no S.
Design. It gets them.
It got me.
Even before the show, it got him.
Yeah. That's why John was laughing at me. And then when we recorded but didn't record a minute ago, I got it right. And I'm like, yes. And then I realized we weren't recording. I'm like, no.
It's like, oh, you got to do it again.
I'm hoping by like, this is episode 116. So I'm hoping by like episode 26, I'll have it down.
Yeah.
But I'll probably end up changing it every 5 or 6 episodes anyway.
So, yeah, it's going to be an ongoing battle throughout the season.
Well, I've got this new thing called Gronk on
It's his
X.
best friend.
I love Gronk. He's my friend. Like, I do not use Google search. All I use now is Gronk. It's by far the best invention Elon has come out with is Gronk and X. I love them both. Gronk on X. Like I go to Gronk, I'm like, hey Gronk, how much fiber's in this? Hey Gronk, how much hydrogen water should I be drinking? You name it. I'm talking to Gronk, and he's telling me, stay away from those seed holes. I'm like, yes, sir, Gronk. Thanks for being my buddy.
Pull the lever, Gronk.
I mean,
Gronk.
I'm having conversations with Gronk. I don't know if that's as healthy. I'm starting to question my decisions in life.
Oh, here we go. The AI. It's already getting you.
Taking over. All right, Jeff Gluck poll from the Clash. I voted yes. You voted yes. 86% of you voted yes, which means 14% of you voted no.
He wouldn't have been able to get that math if it wasn't written down in front of him.
That's a fact. I'm glad you're aware of this. I would have had you do the math.
We're like,
you figure this out.
how many people voted no?
I have to write it down because I'm not that quick on my feet when it comes to math. I got a smart mouth. I'm pretty quick on my comebacks, but I'm not quick on my math.
Yeah.
Or my Spanish. I don't speak no Spanish, and I don't
Doing no math.
Doing no math. No speak of the Spanish and no do of the math. And I haven't mastered English yet either, so.
Yeah, we're still working on it. Getting the basics down.
That's why I'm a salesman. I'm good at talking.
Yeah.
Had to be good at something.
But the poll. So I'm surprised 14%. I'm surprised it's not in the 90s.
Honestly, I thought it was overall the best weekend of racing we've had on a short track since the Bristol tire debacle.
Yes, absolutely.
And that was only good because the tire debacle.
Yeah, they had no idea why it was so good. This was just good.
This race reminded me of a quintessential Cars Tour late model stock race.
Yeah, I mean, it was great.
Except we had a break in the middle.
Yeah, right.
Like I didn't like the break. I did not like the idea of the break until I don't remember now if it was Jordan Bianchi talking about it or if it was somebody on Door Bumper Clear, but they were saying that, the guy, if you don't take a break, then to get new tires, you're not going to go all out. This is an exhibition race. You want the guys going all out for the win. You don't want some guy who's rode around in last and went down 3 laps to get their laps back and win the race because they have the best tires.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not going to create the excitement. Like, this was an exciting race.
Exciting weekend all around.
100. The whole weekend was great. I mean, the heat races I enjoyed. Last Chance Qualifier was great.
Yeah.
It was very entertaining. And then the main event. Like, this was a win-win-win all the way around. Like,
I mean, you could not have asked for the weekend to go any better, in my opinion.
I agree. So Chase Elliott goes out, wins his heat race, starts on the pole, and wins the main event. What do you think?
He just dominated. It was a open and shut case weekend for Chase.
Is that a statement, you think?
I hope so. I like seeing Chase win.
I do too. He's a Georgia boy. I'm a Georgia boy. I know my accent doesn't give it away, but it's nice to see. It's nice to see Chase do well. Like, I know he doesn't have a personality really, but it's still. I wouldn't say I have a favorite driver, but I like Chase.
Yeah,
he's on my list of drivers. I'm okay pulling for.
Right.
I've seen him win a few races in person, Atlanta, Talladega.
Yep.
So I was glad to see him win. I'm good with it. I hope it is a statement.
Yeah, he led the most laps out of any Clash.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I guess the other Clashes used to be like 25 laps at Daytona, but those are the people I think voted no, are the purists who want Daytona pole sitters only. Like, we're never going back to Daytona for the Clash with pole sitters only. Yeah. If we go back, it'll be just like it is now, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I am too. Although I don't think you should ever go back to Daytona for the Clash.
I don't either, but we're going to talk about that at some point on the show.
All right.
I think the Clash should stay not necessarily where it's at, but somewhere around that area. So, yeah. Kyle Busch, bad luck, or is he just picking up where he left off at?
I don't know. It hurt me to see him get spun out like that.
Well, that was Sora's fault.
It was, and that hurt me a little bit more as well. But I've got Kyle Busch in my top 16 for this year. I know you don't. I know you. I know. You
I just
can't.
feel like what's RCR got? What have they done different to make a few personnel changes? That's not going to fix your problem.
I know.
You're not fast.
No, he's not. But I think, he's still a great driver, though.
The only way Kyle Busch improves this season is if you fire Austin and put 100% of your funds behind Kyle.
Yeah. I don't know. They're probably putting more funds into Austin.
Well, now he's got Austin, and Pop is
helping Ty
out over at Colleague. He's probably funding that car. I mean, they're neighbors.
But yeah, seeing Kyle Busch get spun out like that just reminded me of so many moments from last season.
I mean, he was minding his own business,
doing his thing,
and Daniel Soros just comes right in there, blows Noah Gragson right up Kyle's butt, and Kyle spins out.
Yep.
That wasn't Noah's fault whatsoever.
No, it was Soros.
That was Dinosaurus. If you say Dinosaurus real fast with a country accent, it almost sounds like dinosaurs.
It's Dinosaurus.
That Dinosaurus over there. Like, what'd you just say?
I thought the meteor got rid of those.
Where'd them Dinosauruses go? He's on the track in the 99. We found him.
They're back.
I hope this isn't a prerequisite of what he's going to be like all season. Like I said, I do not have Kyle Busch in my top 16, but my heart has Kyle Busch winning the Daytona 500.
Oh, that would be amazing.
So I want to be wrong here. I want Kyle Busch to make the top 16.
Yeah.
I just don't think he will, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think he does. I'm pulling for him.
Well, I mean, that's why you made your picks. I made my picks.
I'm pulling for him this season.
Carson Hocevar. Man, he don't miss a beat, does he?
No, he don't.
He comes right back at it with his aggressive moves. I mean, his mentality is like, wreck 'em, wreck 'em, wreck 'em.
That's a fact.
You can pass them without wrecking them, but you need to wreck them.
Yep. Well,
I hope he never changes.
Me too. Him and Justin Haley were kind of on the same beat this weekend.
Dude, Justin Haley was off the chain. I think Justin Haley hit everything in North Carolina except the lottery.
Yeah,
Saturday.
He was just
like,
whew.
Or Sunday, whenever it was. I was like, wow.
It's like, okay.
Not what I was expecting for young Justin Haley.
I know. He was taking nothing and giving everything.
I was thinking Spire's probably watching that going, why did we let LaJoy go? We're going to have to fix this car.
We're going to have to. Well, they had to fix the car with LaJoy in it, too.
That's true. And LaJoy, he's running a partial schedule this year.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to race the trucks or Xfinity in front of 12 people, so that's why he's not. That's why you didn't see him take a full-time truck or Xfinity ride because, well, those 12 people don't matter, and he doesn't want to race in front of them. His words, not mine. Carson Hocevar, though, what do you think? What do you think about his driving style? Does it bother you? Do you like it? Do you dislike it?
I like having guys like it. It's been a long time since we've had some rowdy guys.
I agree.
On the track. Like NASCAR has managed to water down their sport so much that I like it.
I think he's going to have to learn how to pass guys without moving them if he wants to win races.
Yes.
But as far as an entertainment value goes, I know if the race gets strung out, boring and long, Hocevar is going to wreck somebody to get by him and cause a caution.
Yep.
He's the new Cody Ware.
But better.
But way better.
Way better.
He's got he had a fast car Sunday.
Yeah, he did.
Like a really fast car. And I think I knew when he sent Bell into Logano, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, well, I think he got into Bell or got into Logano maybe on its own. I don't know.
I think something like this happened. I think he got into Bell. Bell got back behind him. Logano shoved Bell and spun him out.
Yeah, well, Logano ain't going to put up with it. That's what I mean. Logano is not going to put up with Hocevar doing Hocevar things. He's like, no.
Yeah.
Logano's quick to retaliate. And then he'll get out of the car and just like that. I didn't do anything wrong. With that new head of hair. Dude, I swear, if his hair gets any thicker, he's going to be like that guy from the Addams Family. His hair is so thick, it looks fake.
Yeah.
It looks faker than fake.
Joey Logano, if he keeps growing out his hair, he's going to be the new mascot for that Sasquatch men's soap.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the head of it.
It's crazy. Like, I saw his commercial, or not his commercial, but his driver intro thing on Fox or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it shows him standing there, and I'm like, oh my God, look how much hair he's got.
I know, right?
That's all you see is this. It looks fake. I'm starting to believe he's got plugs.
Looks like a toupee.
He has plugs. I mean, I'm bald as they come. And there's no men's hair club fixing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Joey was almost bald. He was thinning early.
It was coming quick.
And then he joins the men's hair club, and now it's like, oh, look, Joey Logano has it's more than full. It probably takes 2 barbers to cut that hair. It's got so much hair. It's ridiculous.
It's insane.
Looks like a mop.
I mean, I know we talked about it last season, but
Oh, he's grown more hair than last season. It's doubled.
oh, I know.
He has 50% more hair since he won the championship.
Maybe that's what it was.
They gave him, we made so much money off you, Joey. We're going to give you a few extra plugs.
Maybe that's what it is. He stops drinking all that high octane.
They got the gasoline out of his piss. Now his hair's growing. That's what helped him grow hair. Now laying off the gas, it's growing even more.
The natural hair's coming back.
Yeah. So now he's got fake hair with natural hair. He needs to go back to drinking some high octane. He's going to need it at some point this season anyway.
You know he's going to win something off fuel strategy.
All right, Kyle Larson.
Whew. He had a weekend.
He dominated in the LCQ.
He was fast. I mean,
looked good.
Fastest car on the LCQ.
But who was he racing against? I mean,
Eric Jones.
Yeah, exactly. Eric Jones is probably the only other guy out there with a victory. Justin Haley's got a win too. I think it was a fog win or something.
Well, yeah.
The fog rolled in and he won the race.
Dylan.
Which Dylan?
Austin.
Yeah. He don't count though. He should have been eliminated after his heat race.
When you've got, how many years has he started?
Too many.
He's got 3 wins?
He needs to go. I mean, it's just Austin Dillon doing Austin Dillon type of things. I mean, them Dillon brothers.
Oh, man, they were getting into it too.
I'm telling you what, they were beating off each other, which was funny to see them beating and banging.
It reminded me of Kyle and Kurt Busch.
It did. And I'm sure Pop was like, stop it. No, because neither one of them made it.
Yeah.
But no, Larson goes out, wins the LCQ, has a lot of damage, gets into the main event. I really expected way more from him during the main event.
You know what? He was making up position. I'm pretty sure at one point he was at 12th, 11th or something like that. And then he got spun out, and then he ended up 15th.
It's like a cycle.
Yeah.
Once he spun out twice during the main event. But that's such a Kyle Larson thing.
It's the Busch cycle.
Yeah. He saw Kyle and like, hey, I'm supposed to spin like Kyle? Like, no, you're a Larson, not a Busch.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I've already spun, though. I took a Chase with me. The wrong one, though.
Yeah.
Briscoe. No, I mean, I expected a lot more, but like I said, it's such a Larson thing. Like, Larson's the kind of guy who he's either going to win the race, lead every lap, or wreck and not finish.
Yeah, I think Larson put more effort into the LCQ.
Probably just to make the main event.
Yeah.
He should have never been in that position either.
No, their car wasn't it. Although his heat race was stacked though.
Yeah. What do you expect from Larson this season then?
See, just another Larson season.
About like last season?
Yeah, he's going to dominate a couple races. He's going to make some crazy moves.
So how many wins do you think he'll get this year?
That's hard to tell.
Say between 4 and 6.
5.
5? Well, you either get 4, 5, or 6. I'm giving myself a window here. You're going direct. I'm 5.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go 4, 5, or 6. He could win 12, but I doubt it.
I think it just depends. So, I know we've been watching a lot of football.
Yeah.
Watching the Bills. I think Larson's kind of like a Josh Allen.
I don't know if he's that good. I don't know. I don't think we have a Josh Allen in the NFL.
What?
I mean, in NASCAR.
No. What I'm saying, though, is...
They're the same officiating crew, that's for sure.
That's a fact. But I think Larson has that talent, just sometimes gets a little eager, wants to use it too much. But I know Josh Allen calmed down a lot this season.
Yeah, I agree. I think this season Josh was... he barely had any interceptions. He was a lot more accurate this season. So maybe maybe that's how Kyle Larson's going to be this race season.
He makes some more methodical decisions.
Yeah. Think before you act, not just act.
But to be fair, he does seem like Larson seems like he's got a championship mentality.
Oh, yeah. Larson's going to be – he will be a championship contender this season.
I absolutely agree. I mean, you hear his interviews over the weekend. He's already trying not to make people mad.
Yep.
So he can have a good season. I don't think he's going for a big win season. I think he's trying to get to the championship and give him the best shot at winning a championship.
He still gets multiple wins this season.
Absolutely.
So, and after the season's over, maybe then we'll compare him to Josh Allen.
Yeah, we'll see if he's making some more methodical, crazy plays.
Yeah, I mean he won the Chili Bowl.
Yeah, I mean he's starting the year off great.
That's Larson won the Chili Bowl. The Tulsa Shootout was won by Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
So I mean we got to see. Christopher Bell got out of the car. I was like, thank you, Joe Gibbs, for allowing him to race now. And I agree, because that last lap at the Tulsa Shootout between Larson and Bell, or was that Chili Bowl? I can't remember which one it was now.
I don't remember.
But those two guys put on a heck of a show.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Chili Bowl. That's on my list.
With Larson at it.
Oh, yeah. I want to go to Indy this year with Larson at it, but I don't know if we're going to be able to make that one happen because we're going to Alaska. So.
Oh, yeah.
Going fishing in Alaska instead of Indy. But that's cool. We've done a lot of fishing this year, or we will do a lot of fishing this year.
That's the plan, at least.
The hope. We had ice fishing.
Yep.
We're going to go trout fishing in a few months, and then we're going to go to Alaska and do some fishing there. So
yeah, so
a lot of fishing. Bubba Wallace got into Brad Keselowski to send Brad spinning. I don't put that one on Bubba. Looked like Brad got moved out of the way, tried to slide back down.
And was a little too late.
Yeah. But what do you expect from Brad and Bubba this season?
You know, I don't expect a lot from Brad, honestly. I mean, yeah, he's good at, plate racing. And he's got his tracks that he's great at, but I don't know. He's just a very quiet driver. Like, in terms of his performance, he's very quiet. Some weeks he does really good. Other weeks he's in the back.
So with Brad, I have him in my top 16.
Mm-hmm. But
I think he's coming up on a point where he's going to hang it up, and maybe next season will be his last. I would think if it was this season, he would have already announced it.
Yeah.
So maybe next season's his last. I think Brad will retire and go to the front office and be an owner. I think Brad's a phenomenal team owner. Look at RFK was garbage when he first got there, and now they're winning races, multiple races a season again.
Yep.
It's like the old Roush days. I don't know who replaces Brad. Jokingly, me and Sydney were discussing this topic, and I said Cindric should replace Brad because I don't think you're going to see Austin Cindric. He's a talented driver. But I don't think you're going to see his full talent on display until he gets out from under his dad. His dad, Tim Cindric over there at Penske, he's the main head honcho of the Indy program. So
yeah,
I'm not saying that's why Austin Cindric got a ride at Penske, but until you get out from under your dad and go do it on your own,
you got to prove it.
Yeah. So I think putting Austin in an RFK car to replace Brad would be a good move.
Yeah, and it's not like RFK's got bad cars. I mean, Chris Buescher won races last season.
Yeah, Brad won a race last season.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan Preece looked good at the Clash, so I really want to see Ryan do well this season. But I think Brad wins one race this season. I think he makes to the chase, and then he hangs it up next season. Bubba Wallace, what are you expecting out of him?
He keeps getting better.
I agree.
He keeps getting better finishes each year, so maybe this is his year. He was real close to making it to the playoffs this season or last season.
I hope he does. I hope this is the year that Bubba brings it home. I want to see him get a non-drafting track win.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him win on a 1.5 mile track. Not Kansas, because that's where they dominate at, but maybe Kansas. I don't know. I would like to see Bubba win at a Bristol-style track Phoenix, something like that, Richmond. I'd like to see him win on a mile. I'd like to see him have a multiple win season.
I would too.
I think he's very capable of it. I feel like his mindset is where it needs to be to do that too.
Yeah, and their team's getting better. Like I said, they're getting higher finishes now. Throughout the end of the last season, they were getting more consistent as well.
Exactly. So I think this will be a good year for Bubba.
I hope so.
Ryan Blaney. I mean, dude.
Yeah,
he goes out, starts dead last, and finishes second. Such a Penske thing. It's annoying.
If Blaney continues to do what he did last night, I think he's going to be in like Larson category. Not in terms of NASCAR.
Do you think Blaney can win multiple races this season? Like 4+?
I think he could. It depends on what their mindset is.
Yeah, well, Penske's mindset is
championship.
Do just enough to make the playoffs, and then do just enough to get to the final round of the playoffs,
and then go all out.
Yeah,
go out,
lead every lap at Phoenix.
Yeah, go out and dominate.
Somebody from Penske's going to win Phoenix.
Yeah,
since we're not changing the playoffs whatsoever this year. As long as it's not Joey, I give Joey a lot of flack, but the thing, he stepped up for Western North Carolina. Sydney always sends me all these things Joey does, and it's like, stop. I don't like him, and I don't want to like him, but some of the things he does. Even Brandon had a moment where he's like, I kind of like him, but I hate him.
Right. But I think with the way Ryan Blaney and their team is performing, like they've got it on lock right now.
I agree.
And they had it on lock throughout the last round of the playoffs. I think if they want to continue that momentum, they will. And Blaney's a great driver.
I agree. And I like Blaney's a great personality for the sport too.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a big fan of Blaney's. I like him. Last Chance Qualifier.
What a race.
I was thinking if the main event's anything like this, we're in for a long night.
Yeah, no kidding.
But these people were doing this to make it to the main event.
Right.
So you had Eric Jones beating and banging off everyone. Like he destroyed his car, beating and banging off everyone.
Yep. He had
Ty Gibbs, who is yet to mature.
Oh, Gibbs.
Zero maturing in the offseason because he comes out of the Clash, pisses off half the field in the LCQs, and tries to door Justin Haley, but ends up jumping him.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Oh, it did. He was 5 feet off.
It was he had 3 of his 4 wheels off the ground. Then he had to pull right in like, sorry guys, it was just a fender, but now it's the whole car. I've jacked it up.
Yeah, right. You watch the race. He got spun out a couple times but that's racing.
Do you have Ty Gibbs in your 16?
No.
I don't either. I don't think he's adult enough to win a race.
I don't either.
I think him and Hocevar.
What? Can you say that again?
Hocevar. Him and Hocevar are going to have the same issue. They're going to piss off so many drivers, nobody's going to allow them any slack to win a race.
I think Hocevar wins a race.
I know you do. And he was.
If not, I think he points his way in.
I put Bubba over Hocevar on my list. So I had Hocevar and Bubba were like my 2 drivers for that 16th spot, and Bubba won it. Justin Haley. Looked like a duck out of water. He was
hitting everything.
Everything but the lottery. He literally hit everything. He's one of those guys where his crew chief should have came on and said, all right, next time I want you to go out and hit the pace car.
Right, because, he was beating and banging the entire LCQ.
We had Ty Dillon doing Ty Dillon things.
Yep, the Dillon brothers, they were getting into it.
Beat the crap out of each other.
But like I said, though, that was
and everybody else.
That was
the whole LCQ was entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Then you had Ricky Stenhouse dump Burt Myers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the home crowd.
He got a lot of middle fingers. Everybody was like, "You're number 1, Ricky. Way to go, Ricky. You're number 1."
That's what he was thinking.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what they were saying too. You had Josh Berry. He showed he wasn't scared to use his bumper.
Yeah.
Paid off for him.
Yeah.
He made it in. which was cool.
Yeah, those were the two drivers I wanted to make it in, were Larson and Barry.
Yeah, me too. I like Barry. I
love that car.
Hate that he's driving a Ford, but I love Josh Berry. He's such a fun guy.
I loved that car, though, that he was driving, that red car.
Yeah, it looked great, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
There's a cool story behind it, too, the Leonard Wood story.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like it's been a long time since we've had like a really good red car on the field.
Since the Bud 8.
Pretty much. I mean,
Bud 8 looked good this offseason running, though.
Yeah, it did.
I'll tell you what, I was like, that is a good-looking number 8. Who else? Cody Ware. He didn't want to be left out. So, from last place, he was able to cause a caution.
Yep.
Now, that is quintessential Cody Ware.
That's what we have him for.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Las Vegas has a bet. How many races will Cody Ware cause a crash from dead last?
I wouldn't put it against it.
I'm saying 25% of them. Because he's full time now. I don't
know how.
I want to hear. So Rick Ware and Tim Brown. Tim Brown was one of the locals. Him and Rick Ware were on the Dale Jr. download. So you had Dale Jr. going, I hate the clash. It should only be pole winners, and it should only be in Daytona. And then he's like, here's Rick Ware with Tim Brown, who's never started a NASCAR race, but he's getting his first start at the clash. This is awesome. Like, what? Like, this should have been a separate episode, Dale.
Yeah,
you can't say one thing and then another. It's very confusing. But after that episode, I want to hear Rick Ware's story.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear his whole story. I want to know how Rick got involved in racing. I want to hear it all. Like, he's obviously got money.
Right.
Because he keeps putting Cody in a car.
You got to have money if you're putting him in a car.
Look, speaking of Tim Brown, though, Tim Brown works for Rick Ware. That's why Rick was on the show with him. But what did you think about Burt Myers and Tim Brown being in the show?
I mean, it was cool.
I thought it was really neat. Like,
I mean, two hometown legends.
Both of them have won 12 championships there.
Something like that. I mean, crazy.
I think Tim's won like 3 more races or something than Burt.
Yeah, I mean,
Burt Myers. I'm more of a Burt Myers fan because I'm a Chocolate Myers fan.
The Myers boys.
The Myers boys. You know, I'm gonna pull for them because of Chocolate Myers tied to Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Yeah, but I mean, they were outrunning some of the Cup guys.
Tim Brown. I mean, Burt Myers was doing great.
He was.
That's why Ricky wrecked him. Ricky was embarrassed to get beat by a first-time driver. He's like, no.
Spin house.
Let me show you what I'm known for, Burt.
It's like, Burt, I know this is your first time here in the sport, so let me just give you a quick briefing on my profile. Whoosh.
I was really surprised because usually Ricky goes after everybody that's not American.
Yeah.
He has an issue with foreigners. He will wreck them in a heartbeat. If you're not from America and you're in that race, Ricky's coming after you.
Yeah,
it's almost a guarantee.
If you're not in NASCAR and you're in that race, he's coming after you.
Apparently, now it's just... But he doesn't want to... I understand. He was getting shown up by a guy who's first time in a Cup car.
Yeah, you know,
that's
hurt his ego. He is fragile.
That little ego he's got, but it hurt it.
Yeah.
And now he had to go back to his farm in Mississippi and cry. Poor guy. The heat racing, the Last Chance Qualifier, I love that layout.
It's so much fun.
Like, I wish we could incorporate that. I mean, we do it for Daytona.
Yeah.
We have twin 125s or 150s, whatever they are now. You have the duels. Then why can't we incorporate heat racing into our sport somehow?
I would love it because, I mean, it makes the whole weekend feel a little bit more. It just gives it a little bit more.
I think us, other fans, we're all wanting more out of the weekend. You know, we're wanting to go back to 3-day shows. You know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You have cars on the track. Why not? You have an Xfinity race and then your Cup heat races on Saturday.
I think what it does, it gives you everything you want. Because, you know, from our main events, our big races, we know it's not going to be high octane chaos for 400 miles. It can't be.
No.
So when you got these heat races and these qualifiers, it gives you some of that action. And then, so even if the race isn't great, you still got to see some beating and banging and some good racing.
Well, it makes qualifying interesting. You know, it's instead of having it an elimination style heat race, you still have time, your times that count.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do have an elimination style for like the top 20. And then the bottom 20 run a LCQ to figure out where they're starting at, 20th back.
Yeah, something like that.
I think there's a way we could figure out how to incorporate it into 1.5 mile tracks. And then with your Talladegas and your Daytonas, you run a duel.
Yeah, I mean, something like that. I just think it's just more racing.
Yeah, it's just more entertaining. It's fun.
It is fun. This weekend was
truly
a lot of
enjoyed
fun.
it. So speaking of this weekend being a lot of fun, Bowman Gray, do they get another clash?
I think they probably do.
When do you run it? Next season? You go right back?
Probably.
I don't.
I
think you go. I think NASCAR should pick 3 to 4 other tracks, whether it be South Boston, Hickory, New Smyrna, whatever, wherever it's at. Go in, help those tracks build up their infrastructure, lighting, whatever, and then rotate it each year. If you had 4 different tracks, 5 even, the excitement level stays.
Right.
You know, you look at the Clash in L.A. Year 1, they said was great.
Mm-hmm.
Year 2, I went to. We had a great time. It was still a pretty good turnout. Year 3, nobody came. Now, I know year 3, they ran it on Saturday or whatever, the monumental rainstorm or whatever, the atmospheric flood, whatever they called it, the river.
Yeah.
That moved through. But whatever it was, I still think that excitement stays if you every year you move the Clash. And then Bowman Gray, the excitement builds like next year. It's coming. Maybe you only do 3 tracks. I like the idea of keeping it in North Carolina too, because then the teams are all at home.
Right.
Less travel.
Home race.
Yeah, it feels right. You know, it feels right. But I think that would be the best way to do it. You rotate it every 2 to 3 years. Nobody gets back to back, so it never gets stagnant. You never get tired of Bowman Gray.
Right.
You never get tired of Hickory. You never get tired of South Boston. I mean, there's 3 monumental tracks right there they could go to.
Yeah.
I think I'm just saying that's a fan's perspective. That's what I think. But does Bowman Gray deserve another clash? Absolutely.
110%.
That what we had this weekend was
textbook great race weekend.
I couldn't have scripted it better. The NFL couldn't have scripted it better. Like it's better than Taylor Swift dating one of your players. Like it was phenomenal, guys.
It was, yeah.
The 14% of you that didn't like it, I'm sorry. Hey, listen to this. I was reading the comments section on the Gluck on X, on the Gluck poll, and one guy's like, I didn't like it because I had to go to work the next day and I can't stay up that late anymore.
What?
I'll watch it later in the week. It'll probably be good. But you voted no, you idiot. You said no, it wasn't a good race. And he said this before he watched it, because even in the comments, he's like, I haven't watched it yet. I'm at work.
Like, that's not.
That's the stupid people.
That's the
voting.
14%.
Yeah, that's your 14%. No, like I said earlier, I think.
Oh, your 12%.
Yeah, 14% of them. These are guys who want traditional racing. They want it to go back to the way it was. It's never happening.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday was a huge success for NASCAR. NASCAR did something right. We don't hardly ever say that.
We're off to a great start for 2025.
Yeah. I mean, they sent out that stupid letter from corporate saying, we love you. We hear everything your fans are saying, and because we're listening, we're not changing a darn thing.
Don't
Y'all
worry.
were right.
We're listening to all the bots out there.
Yeah, I mean, we've been called bots. We've been written stupid letters saying they're hearing us when we know they're not. But then they go out and do something like this, and it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
This was a win for the sport. This was a win for Bowman Gray. This was a win for the fans.
So just wins all around.
So let's talk about some off-season news. NASCAR's added a new rule called the Xfinity Fastest Lap Award, where the fastest lap of each race will receive 1 point. So if you run the fastest lap, you're getting a point. What do you think?
Like F1.
Just like F1.
Yeah.
Identical to F1.
Just like F1.
Do you like it?
I think it's cool.
I love it, because it used to be you got a point for leading a lap. So if 10 guys led, 10 points were given out. They got rid of that. This giving a point out for the fastest lap, I like it. I'm all for it. It's incentive to run fast.
Right.
I mean, look how close Larson and Reddick came down to regular season champion.
Right.
That 1 point can matter.
Yeah.
So I like that rule. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it'll be a cool thing as well, just throughout the race. Like, fastest lap. New fastest lap. Just something else to talk about.
Oh, God. I don't know. Mike Joy's going to be all, a new track record. I hated that during qualifying because you'd have like 18 of them.
Yeah.
And they'd get as excited every time. But, yeah. Texas used to have the speed going into the corner and show their speed.
That's cool.
So I think, I do think it's cool. I think the fastest lap, they're going to, Xfinity is sponsoring it. Xfinity will not be sponsoring the Xfinity Series next year.
Oh.
Yeah, that sucks because, I've just gotten used to saying Xfinity over Nationwide. It took years to get used to saying Nationwide over Busch.
I was about to say Busch, Nationwide.
Maybe Busch will come back.
Maybe.
The Busch Series. Like, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
Hey,
Full circle.
Hey, Busch guy. Instead of that stupid commercial with Ross camping on the top of his car, sponsor the series.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the Busch Series. So, other rule changes. You had the DVP clock is no more.
Thank goodness.
I agree with that. I understood where it came from, but then when you give us a car that causes Ryan Blaney to be taken out of a race instead of 3 laps down that it would have taken to fix it, or Josh Berry gets towed to the campground and left.
Yeah, right.
The rule needs to be changed.
The Ryan Blaney thing wasn't that bad for me because I think his car was broke anyway.
It was a quick fix, though.
I thought his steering was broke.
Well, that's what he was saying on DBC, though. He's like, that was a quick fix. We had to fix that in 5 laps or so.
Oh.
He would have been done for the win.
Right, but he still could have raced.
Yeah, he could have fixed his car. And there was not a scratch on that car.
Right. And then the Josh Berry one was crazy.
Yeah, that's just flat tires.
Yeah, that was insane.
And then we had Talladega.
I think that's what prompted the rule change.
What prompted it was Talladega when Chase Elliott was
true.
involved and they towed him back.
Yeah.
Remember I told y'all on the show, I said
gosh.
if Chase Elliott's in a wreck, they'll change the rule.
Because it happened to Josh Berry, and then we were on the show, and we were like, if it happens to someone like Chase, they're golden boy.
They changed the rule, too.
And what do you know?
They changed it that race. Just tow him back. It's okay. It's Chase Elliott.
It's like, you know what?
Then they towed Briscoe back first.
Yeah.
Like, you got the wrong Chase.
Wrong Chase, guys.
Yeah. I'm glad they changed it. They're going to allow them to fix minor things, nothing major. It won't be like it used to be. But you got a flat tire, you're getting 4 new tires. It's the car's fault.
Right. It's not, it's not the driver's fault that they made this car bottom out when your tire goes flat.
The other change is the popular driver provisional.
Oh, great.
Or the NASCAR desperation move. It's the Helio Castroneves. So Helio Castroneves is going to run the Daytona 500. 90 days prior to that, Trackhouse apparently read the new charter agreement that night when they had 4 hours to read it,
Yeah.
They must have read real fast. They knew to apply for this provisional 90 days in advance, and they did. Helio is now guaranteed a spot in the Daytona 500. If he doesn't race his way in, they give him a spot. He'll be the 41st driver. He will not get points and not earn money. I'm okay with that part of it, actually. I like that part. But the fact that he could go out there and suck.
He could literally run a lap and pull into the garage.
And be given a spot. He could, if he goes out and starts a wreck.
He still gets to.
Yeah. He could end somebody else's season before it ever begins.
And here, I want to bring this up. Larson doesn't get a provisional.
No. For the Indy 500?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They don't give Larson worked his butt off to make the Indy 500.
No self-respecting driver wants a provisional into a top series race like this.
Right. Even going back to Wendell Jr., he hated taking that provisional.
Yeah. At Florence Speedway.
At Florence, yeah. He hated that he had to take that provisional.
But knowing he got it, he just went out there and did exactly what Ryan Blaney did.
Right. I don't like provisionals.
I don't either. I think you either earn your way in or you don't race.
Exactly.
And the unfortunate thing is we won't have 40 cars qualifying for most races other than the Daytona 500.
Right.
Maybe the Mexico race, you might. Chicago street course, you might. But that's it. And I doubt it then, too.
But, this is our biggest race. This is the crown jewel of NASCAR.
Yeah.
And you're just going to let people race in it?
It just screams of desperation. Like, please come run our race. I don't like it.
No,
I don't like it whatsoever. What else?
I don't know. You got the notes.
The lawsuit.
Oh, good.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we're not lawyers, so.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have a lot to say about the lawsuit because I'm not a lawyer.
But
and I don't understand all the legal mumbo jumbo, but I will say this. Go teams.
Yeah, go teams.
Like,
we are on the team of the teams.
Yeah, I'm pulling for the teams on this one.
And it seems like it's going in their way right now.
I feel like the judge agrees with the teams too.
Like the more, I think this is like something that the judge picked up. He looked at it at first and he's like, "Well, this is stupid." Yeah. And then he keeps reading about it. He keeps reading more pages, and he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, the teams are onto something here."
The teams have won every step so far. The teams have won. I mean, we don't go to trial till December. So we're going to have to deal with this crap all season. As a fan, I hate it. I think it's a distraction. I think it's annoying. Yes, I'm pulling for the teams. I want the teams to win. But that's just my mentality anyway. At the end of the day, we're watching billionaires argue with billionaires over billionaire things. And, I can't relate whatsoever to it. So
right.
It's just a distraction I don't think we need. But
well, speaking of the lawsuit and all that, Tyler Reddick's first race, he's got the unbannable.
I know. You think there was?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do too.
Absolutely, there was.
I don't think there's any coincidence there. I think NASCAR had a problem with it, so 2311 leaked a graphic out with unbannable all over it.
Yeah.
On social media, then promptly took it down, removed the unbannable from the logo, and put it back out. I think NASCAR had a problem with it, but I think 2311 and Front Row Motorsports are daring NASCAR to do anything to them this season.
Right.
That's slightest bit off.
Watch us. Come on,
Take
guys.
one step outside of the rules, and our lawyer is all. I guarantee you their lawyer is watching every race. He might even be at the track every week.
He's
begging NASCAR to do something.
He's taking notes. He's looking all over social media, what all the guys are saying. I mean,
as soon as Tyler Reddick opened the back door of his hauler, cameras were there to see if unbannable was on the back of his car, and it was.
Yep.
It was. I think it's a cool story. Nike paid the NBA like $3,500 in penalties every single week, so Jordan could wear those shoes.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really cool story. It's just, I don't believe in coincidences. And you've won everything you've taken to court so far with NASCAR. You've won.
Yeah, that's got to be.
You are unbannable at this point.
They tried.
Oh yeah, they tried, but they're not winning it. I don't think.
I love it. Now, what I don't love is Reddick's new haircut.
Yeah, what's up with that? The Mullinator. It looks so stupid.
Last season, I was talking about how I was a Tyler Reddick fan.
I'm questioning that decision now.
I am too.
I have a hard time pulling for somebody who has a goofy mullet like that.
Okay, Reddick, you're already 4'6". You can't be having this haircut that kids in the kindergarten also have.
Him and Bo had the same haircut.
Yeah, I mean, what did I say? I said he looks like a middle school baseball player.
Yes, he does. He looks like Kenny. If Kenny from church had a mullet, that's exactly who Tyler Reddick would look like.
I mean, he needs to go cut his hair.
I will cut your hair for free.
You know what, Reddick? I've got a proposition for you. Your boss is sponsored by Sports Clips.
Exactly. Go get a haircut, dude. He likes it though, but whatever. I think it looks stupid.
Yeah, I
also
think it looks really stupid.
I'm not a fan of his haircut whatsoever. So, all right. So we've been talking about these top 16 picks we've made.
Yep.
I've also got the picks. Sydney gave me her top 16 picks. And then I have Brandon, one of our listeners, sent me his top 16 picks. And I just want to say, anybody listening to this show, if you would like to send me your top 16 picks Who do you think will be the top 16 drivers to make the chase at the end of the season in the playoffs? Send them to me before Daytona, and next time we record, I'll have them and I'll read them on the show. But you have to get them to me before Daytona. If you send them after Daytona, I'm not reading them on the show. Get them to me. Janet, Eric, Brandon, anybody else that wants to send me your picks, shoot them my way. So I'm going to tell you who Brandon's picks are first. Then I'll tell you Sydney's.
And we'll go over ours.
And then we'll go over ours.
All right.
So Brandon has Byron, Bowman, Elliott, Larson, Blaney, Logano, SVG, Chastain, Keselowski, Reddick, Haley, Buescher, Bell, Briscoe, Gibbs, and Hamlin. Sydney has Logano, Cedric, Blaney, Larson, Elliott, Byron, Bowman, Bell, Hamlin, Reddick, Busch, SVG, Allmendinger, Buescher, Chastain, and Keselowski.
No Briscoe?
No Briscoe for Sydney. She took Allmendinger and Busch over Briscoe and Gibbs. That's the two differences between Sydney and Brandon. Basically, we all have the same 14 picks.
Yeah.
There's only two different on all of ours. Like, where I went different was Wallace.
Bring out my note card.
And I had Allmendinger as well. So let's do mine and yours.
All right.
Blaney. I have Blaney. Do you have Blaney?
We got a Blaney.
Byron. Do you have a Byron?
Yep.
Larson.
Yep.
Elliott.
Yep.
Reddick.
Yep.
Bell.
Yep.
Hamlin.
Yep.
Chastain.
No.
Buescher.
Yes.
SVG.
Yes.
Allmendinger.
Yes.
Logano.
Yes.
Briscoe.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Keselowski.
Nope.
Wallace.
Yes.
So the difference is Keselowski and Chastain. Who do you have in place?
I also have Busch, cause
I know you picked with your heart.
I did.
You and Sydney both.
I had to do one. I had to pick one with my heart, and then
I understand.
Hocevar.
I'm telling you, man. I think that's a great pick.
I think if he doesn't win a race, he points his way in.
I don't think anybody points their way in.
You think we have 16 different winners?
I do. 16 or 17. But I do. I told you, I had Hocevar and Bubba Wallace were my two 16th place seeds.
Yeah.
And the way Hocevar ran last season, speed-wise, he's got it.
He's got the speed. I mean, at the end of the season, they're like the last 10 races, top 10s in all of them.
Yeah. But my problem with Hocevar is his aggressiveness. I think that's going to make it harder for him to win a race because he's going to be aggressive and people are just going to not let him win a race. That's going to prevent him from winning a race is his overzealousness.
Yeah. I don't know. After his performance last season, I had to pick him.
After his performance at the Clash, I took him off. I put my list of drivers together before the Clash. Sydney and Brandon sent me theirs before the Clash. So as I watched the Clash, I actually had 17. Like I said, I had Bubba Wallace, Carson Hocevar on that 16th line.
Yeah.
And after watching the Clash, Bubba ran a clean, methodical race.
Mm-hmm.
Hocevar ran a Hocevar-style race.
He did.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I hope Rick Hendrick never has a talk with Carson Hocevar. Keep doing you, Carson, because it's fun to watch. Chastain was fun to watch until Rick had a conversation with him, and now he's camping on top of his car in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened to him. But no, I think we all have solid picks. So
we got the Hendricks boys, the Gibbs boys, the Penske boys.
Yeah, I didn't put Saurus in there.
No.
Not Dinosaurus. Not putting no Dinosaurus in mine. They're gone. Dinosaurus is gone.
Hope he doesn't go out and win Atlanta again.
I know. I hope he don't go out and win Daytona. I'll be like, you screwed my whole pick up. Race one.
Yeah, we're already off to a bad
start.
That's
going to happen, though. Like, I hope Daytona. So Daytona is the next race we have coming up. I hope it's not a Cinderella story. I hate Cinderella story wins. It's the biggest race of the year. That would be like the Browns winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, it's not good for the sport.
Yeah.
it happens all too often too. So that's why I want to see Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. I want to see one of those guys, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch. You know, Kyle Busch would be kind of a Cinderella story, but
with the season
he's a big name guy.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I want to see one of our popular drivers, one that non-NASCAR fans know, win the Daytona 500. I think it's prestigious.
Right.
It speaks volumes when you have a big guy win. So that's what I'm hoping. You think we'll see a wreck fest at Daytona?
Probably.
I'm sure we'll have at least one big one, right?
Yeah.
Maybe two.
I mean,
Helio causes one. Cody Ware causes another.
That's at least two.
Between Helio and Cody Ware, I'm sure we can get at least two cautions. So
yeah. Well, I mean, our last plate race was crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's how it's always going to be, though. You're always, I mean, it's going to be a fuel mileage race. We know that.
So Logano,
he's going to. I mean, he pisses high octane.
That's a fact.
He can't be beat with that. When you drink gasoline to grow your hair, all those carcinogens, it's probably the red number 3. It's all those dyes and processed foods and seed oils. But so, you got anything else we need to talk about before we wrap it up?
No, I think we're good.
All right. So we got Daytona 500 coming up on February 16th at 2:30 on Fox. I think Fox did a good job at the Clash.
Yeah.
They had a few moments where they zoomed in too close, or you have 7 guys going 3 wide, and they're like, look at Kyle, look at Larson leading. Like, no, let's not. Let's look at the guys racing.
Yeah.
Look at Chase Elliott's led 176 laps. Let's watch him no, they're 4 wide behind him. Let's watch that.
Yeah.
So you have a drone, use it. Don't zoom in. Don't show 2 cars the whole race. Don't show the leader when they're racing hard behind him. But I gave Fox a B. We're gonna give them letter grades this season. So I gave them a B. What would you give them?
I'd say B.
Yeah.
It was solid. It wasn't perfect, but it was solid.
I actually even enjoyed Kevin and Clint.
I did too.
I get sick of Clint halfway through. He just kind of gets annoying.
So a 200-lap race at Bowman Gray.
Well, I mean halfway through the season, not halfway through the race. Like, as long as he's not talking about the Chiefs and the referees they pay off, I'm good. So as long as he stays off that, we're good. But no, I'm excited. I'm ready for Daytona. I haven't been ready for the season, but
it was a good start.
Bowman Gray got me excited. Brandon will be happy to know I am now ready for NASCAR to be back full time. So I don't think we're going to record next week. There's not a whole lot going on this weekend. As far as I know, I think the Big Bang Theory is going to have a rerun where they show like all their episodes one day. I might watch that Sunday. I was thinking about watching reruns of maybe Roseanne. I don't know. I'll find something to watch this weekend, but I don't think there's anything on. No, can't think of anything important. Nothing to watch. Bad officiating maybe, but
nothing worth it.
Nothing worth watching. So
okay,
probably won't have a show next week.
I will say, I want the Eagles to win just because Saquon. Saquon's the only reason.
I understand, but I don't want either team to win. Both their fan bases suck.
If Saquon was not on the Eagles, I would absolutely not want either team to win.
I mean, I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes win another Super Bowl at all, so I'm not going to watch.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can beat the dark magic of the Queen, Swiftie. She brings the dark magic to the team to bring them up. You can't beat it. If you don't like it, too bad.
I hope so.
The only hope we have as Bills fans is she starts dating one of our players.
That's a fact.
That's got to be our hope at some point. Like, does anybody on our team want to date Taylor Swift? Because I'm sure enough money, she'll change teams. So I don't know. The officiating in the NFL is just as bad as the officiating in NASCAR, if not worse.
Yep.
They make it way too obvious, but you know what? It is what it is. The Bills didn't play the best game of their life. They played a great game, but when you have to go 13 yards to get a first down instead of 10, because apparently 12's not enough, I have a problem with it. But it is what it is. It's over. Season's over. I love my Bills. We'll do it again next season.
Yep.
We made it way farther than we're expected, so
let's do it again.
Go Bills. So we do it again, we'll go to New York. No, we won't. Maybe we'll bring Grandma down here.
Yeah.
And she can watch the playoffs with us in Georgia.
We ain't going back.
It's 70 degrees, Grandma. Come on down in January. Spend your birthday with us. We're good with it. Come on down. We'll find a place for you to stay. I would give my bed up if Grandma wanted to come stay with us. I'd sleep on the couch. So I'm not going to New York again. That was cold. Not in January, at least. So.
It was definitely cold.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody who listens to the show, watches each week, and follows along. Make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, you can leave us a review like Brandon did. When you leave us a review, it helps other people find the show. And make sure to check out our presenting sponsor, Designs by Sydney, for all your graphic designs needs. Other than that, thanks for listening. We'll catch you all in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.